Hello, this is me, Martin the Boss, and this is a tournament analysis of round number 5 in the ELO Sommer Open in Hennef, which I just finished the past weekend. So I lost in round number 1 against a 21-14. I drew against 15-37 in round number 2. And I drew against 16-62 in round number 3, and I won against 15-87 in round number 4. And I keep getting paired lower people, so I play Witold Marcek here, and he has 17-16. So of course I want to win this game. Yeah. So I have the black pieces, which does make it a little bit harder for me. And he goes c4. So normally in all my games I kind of play c5, symmetrical English, but I thought, well, let's just play mainline e5. And normally I don't do that at all, like try something in an opening, but I thought, well, you know what? You do whatever. He goes knight c3. I go knight c6. And then we just play this close Sicilian with down half a tempo, because close Sicilian is really strong in my opinion. So he goes g3 and I go f5. And there it is. Grand Prix attack with the reversed colors, which is obviously not so great, but he goes d3, and we go knight f6. He goes bishop g2, all normal moves, all theory, and we go bishop b4. And we want to trade off our bishop against that knight. And yeah, so he does a move that is not so usual, which is bishop g5, because he doesn't really want to give up his bishop against the knight. So here in this position, the engine says I'm already better. And there has been 2 games in both people castled, which I also did. I castled. Engine says just take on c3 because he has to take back with the pawn, and it's structural damage. I wasn't so happy to see the half-open b file for him though, which is why I also castled. So it's a more human-like move. So in the other 2 games that have been played here, one played a3. Let me just highlight this. And the other one played queen a4, which I think is both reasonable moves because it is queenside play. So my opponent plays e3, and now pretty much this is my last chance to take on c3 and give him this double pawn, which I didn't do, but the engine still wants to take here. Pawn takes, and then play h6. If he takes, take with the queen. And I agree this position should be kind of alright for black. Better, a little bit better, because we have already castled and he is behind in development and he has doubled pawns. He has a strong pawn center though, and he's the half-open b file, and his bishop is very strong, but I think this position should be played for black. I played d6 though, which is more solid, I guess, but I don't know. So now he can get knight ge2 move in, which is the reason why I should have taken before on c3 maybe. But I think, well, I don't want to take on c3 now, which the engine still wants to do. But he's pinned, so I don't see a problem with this actually. So I go knight e7 because I want to play the move c6, and maybe just go for some queenside play. Maybe also do something else when we have c6 in play, queen d7, and later f4, f5, f5, f4, whatever. I can't play it at the moment because he can just take. I think that's definitely a mistake. Because if I take then with the pawn, he can just take back with the bishop, and I don't know if I don't think this. It would be too early to play f4. Maybe not. Maybe I can play f4. So he castles, and then I play c6. So now theoretically, I guess he could move his knight or something, and then get a3 b4 in. But I mean, still, I can reroute my bishop. Maybe that's okay. I don't know. But I thought, well, then just do it. I'm going to move all my pieces to attack your king then. So do whatever you want on the queen side. Let's just attack him. So he goes for a3 and then I take. And he takes with the knight. So he has no double pawns here, but he has also no half open b file. And we dragged his knight away from defending his king. So I'm still, in my mind, I still want to attack him. So I go bishop e6. Developing the bishop, maybe going for this queen d7 type of stuff, and maybe going for the queen e8 stuff. So he plays b4, and this is still a little bit better for white, this position. But I mean, white is white, so black has to fight for equality. So I go queen e8, which is alright, and then he takes on f6, which is understandable, I guess, but I mean, he could have waited for that, with that, I think, just do something else, but well, he took. I take with the rook. Maybe in some cases I should take with the g-pawn, take towards the center and play king h8 and move my pieces to the g-file and whatever, maybe not. So I took with the rook because I still want to play f4. So he goes queen e2, connecting his rooks and defending e3 and d3. Like this seems like a solid move. But I go queen f7. So I thought before, like, okay, I should do queen's kingside stuff. Maybe queen g6, maybe knight g6, maybe g5, maybe king h8 first, maybe h6 or maybe h5. But in the end, I decided to play queen f7 because now it makes this a possibility, maybe in some cases, to play e4 because he can't take, because I can take on c4, and he can't push because I can take on c4. So he would then leave this pawn there, but then if whatever move he moves, I can take. So it's pretty much what happened because he blundered with playing f4. Obviously, with the move queen f7 also, I have more pressure to play f4, and I make room for my other rook to come over. So maybe he should just play b5, some queenside play, but still I don't like it at all. Maybe he should advance his pawns. He has to make some counterplay on the king and on the queen side, I think, because I will attack his king. Maybe it's not good in all the cases, but I will attack his king, and he has to create counterplay. He can't just defend and have no counterplay. So he played f4 to stop my f4 idea, but this actually weakens the e4 square more, so I play e4. And now he has this type of problem that I just talked about. So he moves his rook over to d1, and I take on d3. Because he was not able in this position, also he still can't push and still he can't take, because I can take on c4 and win the exchange. So he goes rook f to d1, and I take because I can. He can't take with the rook because bishop c4, but bishop c4 is coming anyways. So maybe he should move the queen, which is weird stuff. Maybe like this. And I take here and I defend my pawn, and then he tries to get it back somehow, maybe something like this. maybe that's completely horrible. So he took, and then I take, and I attack his queen, and he cannot take on d6 because it's protected by the rook. So he has to move, and he moves to d2. And this position should be winning for black. I'm up a pawn. And I have the way better position, I think. I play d5, which is the logical move to do. He has a backwards pawn on e3, so I might just try to triple up on the file or whatever, and yeah, move my knight into e4 with some reroute, maybe king over, and do this maneuver. He cannot really play b5 because I can still take with the pawn. And this might still be defended enough times. Maybe not. Maybe he can actually do that, and I should just wait for him to do something, and then I move my rook over to either d8 or e8. But he blundered with knight a4. He wants to go to c5, which is the idea, obviously. But I can play bishop b3, forking his knight and the rook. So he has to move the knight because else he's losing a piece. So the engine still wants to do this, but yeah, he goes to d2, b2. I take, he takes with the rook, and then I go knight c8, which is the engine move. And yeah, I mean I want to go here. Like, this is what I want to do. He goes to d3. I go into d6. And he goes into e5, so he could have gone to c5 also. But he went to e5, which is alright for me. I mean, he's attacking my queen, but I just moved to e7. And then my next move is going to be knight over, so he doesn't know what to do. I mean, obviously, his position is completely losing, so he plays a4, and I just play knight f7, and he doesn't want to exchange knights, which is understandable. But now I just get my other rook into the game and I take the e-pawn, which is his weakness. So he goes king f2 to defend it, and I triple up, and he goes rook e1. But now he's so passive. I mean, I play d4 here, which is not the best move. But I figured it's good enough, and it's kind of forcing to open up the position a little bit more. So he tries to block with knight e5, but I take. So there's absolutely no way for him to take on d4 here, because I can move away with check and then it's over. So he has to take back the knight. And now I have this in-between check. So he has to take, and he actually also has to take with the rook, because if he takes with the queen, I can just exchange one more pair of rooks. Actually, I'm winning the rook, so yeah. So he has to take back the rook. I take here, and yeah, if he moves away, this should be strong enough. I don't know if I would have taken the engine's mistake, but whatever. And I take on e5, and I mean I have everything here, and he has nothing. So he plays b5, and I give this check here first, which is not the engine move, but I think this is a good way to play, because he kind of has to go back to this square, which is basically the only square. He could try to go to f3, but then I can maybe exchange queens. Maybe I don't have to do this, because I will lose a pawn after king f4 there. But so I push him back a little bit, and I take on b5. And I'm not afraid of losing my rook, because he has only like 2 checks, which is one here and one there. So he goes for this check. I go king h8, and now this is a threat, and he resigned. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, his f4 move just lost him the game completely, I think. So I managed to win my last round. So fortunately, I got 3 points out of 5 rounds, which is still bad. And I will lose rating points based on this. even with 3.5 points, I would have lost 3 points. So yeah, round number 2 and round number 3 really broke my neck, you could say. And I still absolutely don't like this accelerated Swiss system. But I should have made more points in round number 2 and round number 3. So yeah, also I should have known more about the opening in round number 1. So yeah, I have to blame myself instead of accelerated Swiss system. Anyways, this was ELO Sommer Open tournament in Hanover, and there you go with all the analysis. I think there will not be any more tournaments really soon, because I think in the area, in the region where I live, there is not too many that are coming, which I like playing, because I don't like these tournaments where you go play one round and then the next week you go play another round and then and so on. I don't like this, because if I don't have time to be there once or twice, then this is totally stupid. I don't know. Yeah, this is it for this video. And see you in streams soon. Bye.